Imagine walking into your dream garage, rows of gleaming motorcycles in every color, engine dreams just waiting to roar. But what if the price tag suddenly shot up 50% overnight? No, it's not sci-fi, it's the reality brewing from the US-China trade war and its shockwaves through our beloved two-wheeled world. In today's episode, I'll break down exactly how tariffs, supply chain shakeups, and global politics could make your next ride a much pricier affair, and reveal which brands stand to suffer the most. Stay tuned, you're about to get your insider's pass to the economics of horsepower. Hey, Cyclosphere family! Welcome back to our channel, your go-to spot for in-depth bike reviews, industry insights, and the gears behind every great ride. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our exclusive content. Today we're tackling a heavyweight topic, the ongoing trade war between China and the US and its domino effect on motorcycle prices worldwide. We'll cover tariff terrain, what duties are in play and how they hike prices, supply chain shockwaves, why parts shortages are looming, market moves, who's buying now and who's getting squeezed, brand battle, which motorcycle makers see sticker shock, and industry intel, how manufacturers are fighting back. By the end, you'll understand not only why your favorite model might cost more next season, but also how the industry is pivoting and where you might find the best deals. Let's roll! First up, the tariffs. Since 2018, Washington has slapped up to 145% duties on certain Chinese goods. Beijing's hit back with 125% on U.S. exports. For motorcycles, that means 30% extra on fully built bikes entering the U.S., 50% on parts, think engines, electronics, plastics, and an added 25% steel and aluminum levy under Section 232 for frames, exhausts, and wheels. China, aiming to diversify, tacked on 25% tariffs on imported components, driving up costs for every OEM reliant on Chinese suppliers. In short, every link in the chain from raw steel to rubber tires just got pricier, an impact that manufacturers and dealers are already factoring into MSRP tags. Tariffs might sound like abstract numbers, but in real terms, a bike that retailed for $8,000 in 2024 could see an added $2,400, 30%, just from duties, before you even factor dealer markups or local taxes. Ouch! Next, the supply chain. China's factories churn out engines, wiring harnesses, electronic control units, and plastic fairings for everything from Japanese cruisers to Italian sport bikes. With tariffs applied, US and European OEMs face a double bind, cost pass-through, dealers pressured Chinese suppliers to cut margins, but most factories already run on razor-thin profits, so the only answer is higher part costs passed to consumers, and a critical minerals probe. The U.S. Commerce Department is investigating duties on cobalt, nickel, and rare earths, key for electric motorcycles. If imposed, battery-grade materials could leap in price, slowing EV bike rollouts. Don't expect a quick fix. Rerouting supply chains takes months, if not years. In the meantime, production delays and localized shortages, not just price hikes, will become the new normal. So how are riders reacting? Two major trends. Preemptive buying. In March 2025, U.S. vehicle dealerships saw a 5.3% sales jump as riders front-ran the tariff clock, locking in current prices, and a pullback forecast. Analysts predict a mid-year slowdown. Once the new MSRPs set in, discretionary purchases like premium cruisers and big adventure bikes will lose steam. Across the Pacific, China's domestic output growth has dipped, with several OEMs issuing profit warnings. Even brands that aren't directly exported to the U.S. are feeling second-hand effects as parts exports to Southeast Asia and Mexico get caught in the tariff net. If you're in the market right now, the message is clear: act fast or budget for a higher sticker. And if you're a cash-strapped rider, the used market might become your best friend this year. Okay, now the big question: whose prices will spike the most? Here's a quick brand rundown. CF Moto is facing 30% on complete bikes and 50% on parts, but is mitigating this by shifting assembly to Mexico. Benelli and QJ, built in China and Italy, take a direct hit on Chinese plants, squeezing OEM profits. Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki benefit from US and Japan plants, but parts tariffs still sting. KTM and Husqvarna face 30% on bikes and 50% on parts with no easy workaround. Harley-Davidson bikes are built stateside, but a looming 25% EU tariff on exports could make flagship cruisers prohibitively costly in Europe. India is hit by EU counter-tariffs and domestic parts duties. If you love big-bore cruisers or Euro-style adventure bikes, budget for a 5 to 10% premium right now, and possibly more if your local dealers got backlog. So what are manufacturers doing to weather the storm? 3 key strategies. Nearshoring. Brands like CF Moto and parts suppliers are setting up shop in Mexico to qualify for tariff exemptions under USMCA. Lobbying. The Motorcycle Industry Council and ACEM are petitioning trade bodies to carve out motorcycle exemptions, arguing narrow margins could vanish altogether, and supply chain overhauls. Even high-tech players like XPeng EV are auditing every component, prepping for critical mineral duties. Long-term, expect a battle between higher onshore manufacturing costs versus the pain of global tariffs. Some analysts predict a surge in electric bike R&D domestically, driven by potential U.S. clean energy subsidies that favor U.S.-made content. If onshore EV bike production can avoid future duties and tap state incentives, we might see a renaissance in American-built electric motorcycles, just not in time to save 2025's gas bike pricing. Bottom line, the U.S.-China trade war has gunned down price certainty for riders everywhere. From raw materials to complete motorcycles, tariffs are a price hike grenade tossed into a fragile supply chain. Expect sticker shock across all segments, from Chinese imports to American cruisers, strategic shifts with more Made in Mexico and Made in USA badges, and future fallout as accelerated EV production onshore takes off if subsidies outpace tariffs. If you've been eyeing a new ride, now's the time to pull the trigger before MSRPs ratchet higher. If you're flexible on models, consider shifting to brands or models with more local content. And don't forget the used market, it may save your budget. Thanks for rolling through this deep dive. Keep the rubber side down,